Welcome to Kade Cooks, the cooking channel, I guess. Today I'm gonna be making a double chocolate protein cookie recipe. The equipment that you're gonna need is 2 medium to large bowls, a digital kitchen scale, some parchment paper, or some aluminum foil, but not wax paper, because they are lying when they say it does not stick. I swear, every time I cook with wax paper, the girl be sticking. Oh, you're also gonna need a fork to mash up the bananas, and I actually use this to initially mix things together. A cookie sheet. The ingredients that you're gonna need: 2 overripe bananas. If they're a little bit smaller, I would recommend to do like 3 bananas instead. Some vanilla extract. This one that I'm using is actually a butternut. Some stevia extract. This is in a really weird bag, but some mini chocolate chips. Oil spray. It can really be any spray. My favorite personally is coconut oil spray. It has a very high smoking point, but this is what I have on hand right now, so that's okay. And to make a double chocolate, you can go 2 ways. You can do the Hershey's Special Dark, or you can do black cocoa powder. I really like this stuff. It adds some extra bitterness, but you can also even that out with a little bit of salt, because salt evens out that bitterness and it tastes really good and super rich. Next, I recommend you add a chocolate protein powder. I have made this recipe so many times with a bunch of different kinds of protein. Besides 100% whey, I've used a whey casein blend. I've also used a bunch of different vegan protein powders. And you're gonna use about 60 grams of the protein powder. I forgot to mention the amounts that you're gonna need for the cocoa. You're going to need 5 to 10 grams, which, depending on how rich you want it, I just do a few drops of the flavoring. 5 to 10 drops of stevia, and I try to do about 15 grams of the mini chocolate chips, depending on how much we have today. First, what you're gonna wanna do is preheat your oven to 375. I'm trying to get a handle on this, but obviously it's not working out. So, you're gonna wanna turn it to 350 to 375, depending on how hot your oven runs. So, first you're going to want to mash up the bananas. I just like to be extra. It's fun. Open it like an angry monkey. That's an aesthetic for sure. This is when the fork comes in handy. You're going to want to hold on to that fork and mash. If you have a potato masher, this works even better, but I sure as heck don't. Just like mac and cheese. At this point, because it's 2 different bowls, because it is the wet and dry ingredients, then I'm gonna mix them together. The reason why a lot of recipes tell you to do that is if you don't, you're more likely to get clumps in your batter, and that is just not tasty. No. So what I like to do is turn on my scale with the bowl already on there, so you don't have to worry about having to reweigh or anything like that. I'm personally going to use the black cocoa powder. I think I'm going to go for 10 grams on this one. Let's just say this is terrible. Because you're tearing the scale. Bad joke, but it's okay, it's okay. So per serving, it's 32 grams. I'm gonna just, for easiness sake, I'm gonna double the recipe and it's gonna be 64 grams. With each protein powder, the gram size is usually different. This literally says the serving size is 1 rounded scoop. That could mean so many different things. That's another reason why I highly recommend you get a kitchen scale, because you're not counting your calories right if you're counting them. If you're just, a rounded scoop can mean anything. Let's go back to weighing 64 grams. Perfect. And now for the old-fashioned oats. I highly recommend you do not use quick oats or the 1-minute oats because your cookies will come out not good, just really soft. I start out with 2 servings, which is 1 cup / 80 grams. Oh no, it's fine. And then finally, I'm gonna add the kosher salt. This is a secret ingredient that I picked up at Smith's. It is espresso cocoa infused salt. I've used it in another cocoa recipe. It is delicious, like absolutely divine. Just gonna do a sprinkle here. And additionally, I am going to sprinkle some of that on the top of each of the cookies too. So when you're first biting into it, you just get a taste of it. Ooh, you know what else I forgot? Chocolate chip time. I just want to add all of them in, if possible. You know what? Let's just not put a wrapper in there. it wouldn't taste good. It's looking like that is 39 grams. It's a little bit over 2 servings, but that is 2 servings of mini chocolate chips for the whole batter. It's already smelling so good, I'm excited. Now I'm gonna add the remainder of the liquid ingredients to the liquid, which is just the stevia extract. Doing about 10 drops of the stevia extract, about 10. These two are not as scientific, like weighing wise, but it's all good. A little mix and mix it here. Finally. Like I said earlier in the video, all bananas are created differently. So depending on the texture of your batter, you can always add a tiny bit of water / almond milk or any milk alternative to thin out your recipe if it's a little too thick still. It looks like this time, it still kind of holds up to its shape, so I'm gonna say this is a good consistency for the cookies. And you're gonna see there's still gonna be a few banana chunks. If you like the little banana chunks, keep them in there. But if you're not a fan or you're trying to hide in some fruit, mash it extra well. I would just get 2 spoons, or if you have a cookie scoop already, perfect. You know, it's okay that they're not all even, because they're gonna be just as delicious. Just try your best to do them even though, because it will cook more even. But it does not have to be perfect. These are actually a little bit runnier than some of the cookies I've done, but the nice part about this is there is no eggs or anything like that in here. So even if they're a little undercooked, you can just eat it. You can honestly even eat the whole batter. I decided to just do like 9 larger cookies. If you're gonna go for the larger method, you are gonna want to put them in the oven for a little bit longer. Most of the time when I do these cookies, I put them in the oven for 13 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna check them in 13 minutes to see how they're looking. If they're able to move around on the cookie sheet, just with me getting a spatula underneath, then they're solid. These look so good. And then they could be lifted up. That's how you know that they're done. And you can also see there are tiny holes. Kind of like with pancakes, it does the same thing. That's how you can just tell that they are cooked. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and try out these awesome cookies. I just wanted to film our reaction.
Those are really good.
Mmm.
Oh, they're so good.
I'm dipping mine in almond milk. Mmm. Almond coconut.
Which tastes so good with them.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm. Salty
Mm-hmm.
and sweet.
Just like me, salty sweet. Mm. Mm. And I will put the full recipe in the bio. On top of that too, I will also do the macros at the end of the video with the picture. Anything else, thoughts about the cookie?
Really good. Make them.
Make them.
You won't be upset.
Yes.
They're
Give it
very
a
good.
try.